Hello, it's me again. I gotta ask a question. Does anybody remember when AIDS first hit America? What it was called? It was called gay man's cancer. Oh, before you go, oh no, gay, you're gonna talk about gay people. No, I'm not talking about gay people. It was called gay man's cancer, and the reason why it was called gay man's cancer is because when it hit, no one knew what the heck it was. All we knew was that gay men were getting this disease and dying, and it was horrible to watch. It was sad. But when they talked about it spreading in San Francisco and New York like wildfire. And then we found out what it was. And so when it would play on the news about the deaths of gay men who died from this disease, it's not that I didn't care about them, I just didn't care. And the reason why I didn't care was this. It wasn't affecting me. I was a heterosexual, faithful husband, and hoping that my wife was a faithful woman. So I knew the chances of it coming to get me were slim. If I was going to die from AIDS, it was going to be from a blood transfusion or some weird lightning strike type of death. I'm saying this because I'm watching the news and I'm hearing all these Al Sharpton, and I call him Sharkton because he is a shark, man. He's full of a lot of... anyway. So Al Sharpton and Jesse and people are saying, oh, we need to picket, we need to march because of the verdict on Travon Martin and George Zimmerman. Well, I have an honest question, and it's an honest question. I'm not trying to judge nobody. But do you know 700 teenagers have been killed since Travon Martin has been killed in America? 700 teenagers. The day that Travon Martin, that George Zimmerman was found not guilty, there were 8 shootings in Chicago. A 17-year-old was killed. A 15-year-old was killed. Now, I know you're mad about George Zimmerman going, oh, I can't believe we found him innocent. That's so unjust. But you want the rest of us to care. Well, here's an honest question. Why would I care if you don't? And you're saying, I do care. No, you don't. Because if you cared about the murder of black men, you would go and march in Chicago. You would go and march in Detroit. You would stand there 24 hours a day just to stop the genocide that they're committing. If you look at it, African Americans seem to be committing genocide. And it's horrible. A proud and noble race. And less than 200 years after freedom, 70% are born to single-parent households. The fathers aren't there. What are they doing? They're killing each other in the streets. And the ones that ain't dying are going to prison. And I'm not saying all. But what I'm saying is 70% of your children are born out of wedlock. 70% of your children don't have fathers in the household. So they're running the streets and killing each other. And my point is, why should I care if you don't? I mean, why should I be mad about injustice against black people if you don't? I'm a Hispanic, Puerto Rican from the South Bronx. I'm a minority too. But you don't see this kind of behavior in other neighborhoods and other peoples in America. It's insane. And I know that sounds racist and bad. And you shouldn't say that. How dare you say that? Fat man with a hat. What kind of who are you to give your opinion? One man looking at it going, how could you march over the killing of Travon Martin when so many of your sons lay dead in graves all over the country at the hands of your sons? You see, 93%, 97%, 95%, the statistics are all over the place, but from 93 to 97% of all murders of African Americans, they're killed by African Americans. So you wonder why you got single family households. Where are the fathers? Well, they're being murdered. And they're being murdered by other black men. And those black men are going to prison. And so our prisons are full. And our graveyards are full of a heroic and noble race. I mean, a race that survived genocide unlike any other race in human history. And yet, you want to march about Travon Martin. Look, if you want me to care, if you want the rest of America to care about your kids, you got to care about them first. You got to care about them more. You should be marching in Chicago. You should be saying, what the hell is going on in Chicago? I don't see how you can fix it unless you start in your own home. I'm not judging you, man, but I'm telling you, this gay man's cancer thing stopped spreading when gay men took responsibility and said, you know what? We got to cover up. We got to stop the promiscuity. We got to stop all this behavior because we're killing ourselves. Does that make sense? I hope so. Anyway, this is Jerry, one man's opinion. Take it or leave it, it's up to you. But why should I care about your kids if you don't? And don't tell me that you do when you're sitting on the couch watching TV while your sons are being murdered. Have a good day. Bye-bye.